Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by green hills and deep forests, lived a kind couple who longed to have a child. They lived in a small cottage next to a mysterious garden filled with magical herbs and flowers. This garden belonged to a wicked witch named Mother Got Hell, and no one was allowed to enter it. One day, the woman became very ill. She looked out of the window and saw a beautiful green plant growing in the garden. It was called Rapunzel. She whispered to her husband, "If I could just taste that plant, I would feel better." The husband, who loved her dearly, decided to climb the garden wall at night and bring her some. He picked a handful of the Rapunzel leaves, but just as he was leaving, a terrible voice cried out. It was Mother Got Hell. "How dare you steal from my garden?" she shouted. The man begged for mercy, explaining that his wife was sick. Mother Gothel's eyes narrowed. "I will let you go," she said, "but when your baby is born, I will take it." The man, frightened and desperate, agreed. Months later, the couple had a beautiful baby girl. But before they could even hold her close, Mother Got Hell appeared and took the child away. She named the baby Rapunzel and hid her in a tall tower deep in the forest. The tower had no door, no stairs, only a single window at the top. As Rapunzel grew, her golden hair grew longer and longer, so long, it touched the ground. Mother Got Hell visited her every day. To reach her, she would call out, "Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair!" Then, Rapunzel would drop her golden braid out of the window, and the witch would climb up. Years passed. Rapunzel lived alone in the tower, singing sweet songs and dreaming of the world outside. One day, a young prince was riding through the forest when he heard her beautiful voice. He followed the sound and saw the strange tower. Hiding behind a tree, he watched as Mother Got Hell called out, "Rapunzel! Let down your hair!" Then he saw her climb up the golden braid. The next day, when the witch had gone, the prince came closer to the tower and repeated the words. "Rapunzel! Rapunzel! Let down your hair!" To his surprise, the hair fell. He climbed up and met Rapunzel. She was frightened at first, but the prince spoke kindly, and soon they became friends. Day after day, he visited her, and they laughed and talked for hours. Before long, they fell in love. The prince promised to help Rapunzel escape and take her to see the world. But one day, Rapunzel accidentally told the witch about her visitor. Mother Got Hell was furious. She cut off Rapunzel's hair and cast her out into the desert, where she wandered alone and heartbroken. That night, the prince returned to the tower. But instead of Rapunzel, he found the witch. She tricked him, and when he climbed up, she pushed him from the window. He fell into thorny bushes below. He survived, but he was blind. For months, the prince wandered the land, calling out for Rapunzel. Far away in the desert, Rapunzel lived in sadness, but she never stopped singing. One day, the prince heard her voice. He followed the sound and called her name. "Rapunzel!" She ran to him and threw her arms around him. As she wept, her tears touched his eyes, and suddenly, a miracle happened. His sight returned. Together, they returned to the prince's kingdom, where they were welcomed with joy. Rapunzel was finally free, and the world was more beautiful than she had ever dreamed. And so, the prince and Rapunzel were married and lived happily ever after, in love, in freedom, and in sunshine. The end.